some of the teachers that I've encountered in my life that have made the most lasting impact on me aren't teachers. They're teachers that had a huge range of knowledge in the field in which they taught, but they're primarily people who knew how to ask the right question. People who were such artists at teaching that they were able to ask questions in such a way that they forced me to pause and to reach deep within myself for the resources of knowledge and perhaps even the resources of wisdom within myself to grow as a student. So when we think about teaching, baptizing, and nurturing new believers, or all of us believers, because in a way we're all new, we're all novices at the way of Christ. If we think about the kinds of questions that Jesus asked, the kind of teacher that Jesus was, we see this way in which Jesus constantly asks questions that force people to pause, to reach down within themselves, to touch the desire that animates their life, that animates their spirit, and to bring forth a response that brings them closer to God in that encounter with this master teacher, Jesus. In the early church, there were sort of two primary stages in the initiation of early Christians that I find really compelling. Catechesis, this period that would last from, for all of Lent, and then people would be baptized at the Easter Vigil, having been prepared during that season of Lent. And then there would be a period of time from Easter to Pentecost, during which these new Christians who had been initiated into the mystery of baptism and the mystery of the Eucharist would go through something called mystagogy. Mystagogy, which sounds a little bit like the word we have pedagogy. Pedagogy, literally the leading or guidance of children. Mystagogy can be translated as the interpretation of the mysteries, in this sense the mysteries of baptism and the Eucharist, but also leading people deeper into the mysteries of the Christian faith. I attended an adult Christian formation conference once that spoke about mystagogy in the contemporary church as the loving interrogation of our faith, which really kind of captivated my imagination, the idea of this loving interrogation. So one thing that I've tried with our interns here is that liturgically, the Episcopal Church is so rich, and we're swimming in this sea of liturgy all the time, but I think we don't always realize the ways in which our liturgy is a missional tool. If we stop to process it, to ask questions about our experience of it, and to appropriate the lessons that the liturgy might, that God might be teaching us through our liturgy in our everyday experience. So one thing I've done with our interns is we've had a mystagogy session after the Great Vigil of Easter here at the monastery, where I simply ask our interns, what do you remember doing? What did you see? What words did you say or sing? What did you smell? What do you remember about the experience? And then how did it make you feel? Just that honest, raw question of what feelings did you have? And then a third question of what of God did it reveal to you, or is it revealing to you still as you look back upon that memory of that liturgical experience? So today you might reflect on how the liturgy, on how your experience of worship has been an expression of the mission of God in your own life.